Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Trijaya Sastia Puri from PBI1. In this video, I will answer my lecture question about TELF methodology. Okay, for the first question, please mention and explain briefly the components of communication process. Components of communication process, for the first is context. Every communication proceeds with context. This context may be physical, social, chronological, and cultural. And then the sender chooses the music to communicate within a context. Then you need to consider these factors when you communicate with others, such as the type of language you use for your music, then the assumptions you make when formulating your music, then the willingness of the receiver to engage in dialogue about your music, and the last, your tone of voice. Okay, for the second component is the sender or encoder. The sender or encoder is a person who sends the music. A sender makes make use of symbols such as words or graphics or visual aids to convey the music and produce the required response. And then the third component is music. Music is a key idea that the sender wants to communicate. Music can have many other purposes like interrupting, warning, greeting, or requesting information. For music to be effective, you should know exactly where you plan to send it. And then, communication process begins with deciding about the music to be conveyed. It must be ensured that the main objective of the music is clear. And then, for the fourth component is medium. Medium is used to exchange or transmit the music. The sender must choose an appropriate medium for transmitting the music, else the music might not be conveyed to the desired recipients. The choice of appropriate medium of communication is essential for making the music effective and correctly interpreted by the recipients. To choose the right medium, you should consider several factors. For first, you need practicality. What I mean is that using telecommunication media such as telephone, email, and instant messaging is more practical than arranging face-to-face meetings. But you have to think about how important the music you want to convey. If the music is important and you want an immediate response, face-to-face or over the phone is helpful, and email is perfect for music that don't require an immediate response. Then, the recipient's communication style and the need for feedback. Then, for the fifth component is recipient or decoder. Recipient or decoder is a person for whom the music is extended, aimed, and targeted. The degree which music the decoder can understand is dependent upon various factors, such as knowledge of recipients, their responsiveness to the music, and the reliance of encoder on decoder. And the last is feedback. Feedback is the main component of communication process as it permits the sender to analyze the efficiency of the music. It helps the sender in confirming the correct interpretation of music by the decoder. Okay, next for the second question. Why do humans need a language? Language is a vital part of human connection. Language allows us to share our ideas, thoughts, and feelings with others. And then for the third question, give your opinion about the periods: Dutch period, Japanese period, and independence period of English teaching in Indonesia. Which do you think the best English teaching period? Okay, first, Dutch period. This period is a very challenging period in my opinion. Why? Because in this period, students receive TELF from junior high school to senior high school. English is a compulsory subject which is given 3 or 4 times a week. In addition, students must learn Dutch every day. And then, Japanese period. During this period, Dutch and English were banned. It is replaced by intensive Japanese learning because it is designed to be the second language of Indonesian. But I think this period is very detrimental because when the Indonesian language develops rapidly, it will be very difficult for foreign language to share and place in society and another medium of communication, so hindering the development of TELF in Indonesia. And then for the third, the independent period, 1945 up to present. I think this period will be the period of TELF revival in Indonesia. English was being taught again from junior high school, but dictionaries changed. English Dutch dictionary, but an English Indonesian dictionary. The teaching of English in the primary school is now the latest trend in Indonesia. In my opinion, Eastern is very helpful for the development of student understanding, considering the primary school is the right time for child to learn new things. So I choose the independent period for the best period. This period is proof that Indonesia can build their own TELF system according to the ability of society without giving them coercion. Okay, next for the fourth question. In your opinions, what is the status of English compared to Indonesian nowadays? I think the current status of English in Indonesia can be called a second language. Even though English is a foreign language, English has an important role for school students, university students, job seekers, and professionals. We can see how important English is when it is designated as a compulsory subject at the junior and senior high school, even tests in national exams. Scholars also need it because the majority of graduate schools require a two-level test, as do large companies. Plus the demands of being able to speak English both passively and actively by professionals. And the last question. Please explain briefly about the function of English in Indonesia. The current status of English as an international or global language is underpinned by its wide use in a range of fields such as politics, diplomacy, international trade and industry, commerce, science and technology, education, and the media, information technology, and popular culture. English has a very function in Indonesia, especially when the extent of the role it plays in the following areas. First, economics and business. The USA position as the world's #1 economic exert, a pull on global business. Organizations which wish to enter the international market are not likely to be able to do so without using English. And then international relations. English is one of the official language of the United Nations and other key international bodies. Then the media. English dominates global television and radio broadcasting. Then education. English is increasingly used as a medium of instruction in schools and universities with subjects such as management, information technology, and the humanities making particular use of English. Then communication. Much of the world's communication are done in English. Then international travel and safety. English is the language used for navigation at sea and for air traffic control. Okay, I think enough for my answer. Thank you and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.